My name is Matthew, and my six-pack is whack. My abs are a little off-kiltered. They look very uneven. Looks like if you're playing Jenga almost. My world-famous drag superstar Detox. I was on season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race and season 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. I don't even know how many wigs I have, but I would have to guess probably around 200. I have a lot, like this one. This one makes me feel like a woman. And this one makes me feel like a woman on crack. I remember seeing my first drag show and saying, that's what I need to be doing. And I was like 17 years old, wearing 10-inch platform heels, going into every bar in the city, and people knew who I was. To be so young and to be accepted into that world at such an early age, it was like a high for me. And then I started meeting all of these other people who had like these beautiful bodies and these gorgeous faces, and they looked like aliens, and I was like, I want that. And then I met this guy who was able to offer me some alterations here and there. So I jumped on the opportunity and I jumped on the needle. If I had to put a number on the amount of silicone I have in my body, probably gallons. The first thing I had done was my face, cheeks, lips, and a little bit in my chin. I swelled up so much, but I was obsessed. My lips were like huge and I could see them bouncing when I would walk around, and I was like, I have to put lipstick on immediately. So I did. I took like the brightest pink lipstick I could find. I put them on. I was like, oh my God. And my entire life I was a string bean. I was very skinny, and I realized that I could have a beautiful body by injection. Fill me up. I had my pecs done. I had my shoulders done. I had my biceps done. My hips, my ass. I was in heaven. But the one thing that I regret the most doing is my six-pack. They're not perfectly parallel. They look very uneven. Getting recognized everywhere, there's definitely a little bit of fame. I don't like to say that I'm famous. I am definitely gamous. What's the world gonna think? Because they're very critical. They all have a very strong opinion. And I was like, well, I don't wanna have to like sit and read nasty comments all the time about how gross my abs are. They always have to feel like I'm covered up. I always have to have some kind of like a corset or a girdle to kind of smooth everything out, because I don't want people to see those weird lumps. So Dr. Nassif and Dr. Dubrow, please take these abs out and make me the best little drag queen in the world. I would love you forever. There's this place up here that makes dolls. So I figured since I'm already a rubber doll, I might as well have a little doll of myself.
You're ridiculous.
They scan me, and then I come out to the little action figure of Detox.
So right here.
Awesome.
Let us know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My sister is amazing. She's always been that driving force behind me to say, push yourself, push yourself, push yourself. Go out there and go for it, whatever it is that you want to do.
Why don't you just go in naked? Oh, because then that is all gonna show.
And this is all gonna show.
When Matthew started getting injections, he was pretty young, like 18 years old. And I started to get nervous the bigger his lips got and the more he started to look like me. It was a little bit freaky. Do you want this tied in a bow? Or
I want it tied really tight.
How's that?
Keep going.
But living with Detox and this big personality, it's almost like being around a superhero.
It's a lot of pressure to like always constantly look good, and having a weird ripply stomach is always on my mind. Because people talk in my comments and they make fun of me for it, and I'm tired of it. Let's talk about the haters. I know that I have this issue. I want to fix this issue myself. I don't need your little bitch ass telling me to go fix it.
Oh, wow. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome. Follow me into our duplicator, where we duplicate you. All right, so angel pose. I'm gonna count down from 3, 2, 1.
I am living my entire life in this 3D printing machine because I've always wanted to be a robot, alien, sex worker, and that's exactly what I feel like right now.
So you guys happy with this?
I think so. It
looks so good.
Masks everything that I was concerned about, all of my little problem areas. I think I look gorgeous. I think this doll is gonna turn out so, so cute, and I cannot wait to come back and have another one made where I can be full and naked.
Yeah, so we're great.
Thank you.
What are you looking at?
Come here, look at this. Our next patient has had injections.
What?
Yeah, it's not kind of foreign body injections throughout the body because Matthew is a
A drag
female impersonator, a drag queen.
So wait a minute, what
Yeah.
about the chest?
So it looks like there's
that-
been injections in the chest, certainly injections in the abdomen, which are the problem area, because look, although at first glance they sort of look like abs, when you look at them, that doesn't look real, doesn't look natural. Actually, it's pretty abnormal. Let's bring Matthew.
Can you please send in Matthew?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Matthew, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Hi, Matthew.
too.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
You can call me D.
D.
Everyone
Okay.
calls me
Nice
D.
to meet you.
Hi,
D.
Terry Dubrow.
Heather,
Nice to meet you.
They look so handsome. I didn't realize they were going to be so handsome in person. So I'm a little flustered.
I actually recognize you now that I see you.
Oh, yeah, from Cops?
Bad boys. No, you've been on RuPaul's Drag Race.
I
you
have,
not?
yes.
Yes, you have. And actually, you're quite a prominent person.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Bought you a little something.
Well, let's see, what did you really
I'll let
us
you
a
open
gift?
it. I did.
Oh.
I figured you guys would want to see me all the time, so
at
I bought you a little.
That is so cool. Look at that.
How did you have that? No,
Is this an outfit you wear?
Like did a whole scanning of my body in 360 degrees, and then it's 3D printed. I feel like everybody deserves to have a little detox with them all the time. But if they can't fix me, I'm taking that motherfucker back.
All right, so obviously you're here because you've had a series of injections, yes?
Yes.
What possessed you to do?
Well, I was very young. I started getting work done and all of my injections, my silicone injections, when I was about 18 years old, and I just never been able to get an ass before. I want higher cheeks. I want bigger lips. Seems like a very easy, inexpensive way to remedy those issues.
Multiple things can happen with silicone injecting your body, and it can cause deformities. It can get in your blood vessels, and this could happen 5 years, 10 years, 25 years down the line. You never know.
As I was getting everything else, I wanted to have abdomens.
Yeah.
Where they were more defined and more pronounced.
So you wanted to inject a six-pack.
So I wanted to inject a six-pack.
But let me just interrupt you. You wanted to get feminizing injections, but you don't want to transition it all.
No, I wanted to kind of find this weird medium where I'm feminine but also masculine. Like I have pecs.
Androgyny.
Like I wanted to be very androgynous and very fluid with my gender.
Okay.
And I still do.
How's it affecting you negatively?
Well, as a man and as a gay man, obviously, I want to get naked all the time. And as a drag performer, I want to get naked all the time.
When you're being a man and you're in a club, you're in a social situation, and you're
Right.
gay, shirt comes off, right?
Mhm.
Go to a white party.
Right.
What percent of people have their shirts off?
All of them.
A what party?
You know nothing.
No,
about
I
this.
don't. I don't know anything
Just
about
knows
this.
plastic surgery. That's it.
I'm a little taken aback at how well versed in the gay community Dr. Dubrow is. He knew about White Party. He knew that everyone wants to take their shirts off at gay clubs. I'm like, maybe I've seen him at a gay club a time or two. But that'll just be our little secret.
We obviously have a now significant experience helping people with these problems from
Which is why I
silicone
wanted to
injections.
come here.
I know, but there's always this threat of, what we call waking the sleeping dragon when you do these things, because doing something to a silicone injected area can induce a very significant inflammatory reaction. And you get a whole granulomatous foreign body situation that can be a disaster, So, not to scare you, but that's what goes on in our minds when we see patients who have problems who want potentially our help. So, I think it's time to go examine you and see what's cooking and see what we can offer you. Shall we?
Let's go do it.
Let's do it.
Dee has a large amount of silicone injected in various parts of the body. At a moment's notice, any of those can be like waking a Pandora's box and really turn into a major problem for Dee. We have met a wide variety of people who've had body implants, injections, but I don't think we've met anyone who's had injections all throughout their body like you. So if you don't mind, I'd actually like to sort of examine the various parts and see what's gone on with them. So you had some injections to your arms, yes?
Yes.
Where?
Like right in here. But just like a tiny little bit.
So
Except right there.
that. Wow. It's really filled, but it's
very bouncy.
yeah, no, I mean, this is one of the sort of best I've ever seen.
Is moving his fingers and squeezing all my little bits. That makes me feel really great.
Wow, you have a lot.
A lot.
That's like a 500cc implant. As I'm feeling Matthew's various areas that he's had silicone injection, I'm assessing him for any inflammatory nodules, and his body has actually very well tolerated the relatively large amount of free silicone that he's injected. He's actually very, very lucky. The good news is it's soft, they're not inflamed, there is a solution. I would make an incision that goes hip to hip. I know, but it's below the underwear, and elevate up the skin all the way up to the chest wall here. And then from the inside, remove these.
Like sweating.
And then I would basically do what's called a skin-only tummy tuck on you, which is to remove the skin from the belly button down, and it's a big scar with a very significant recovery. Basically, you're down for several weeks.
I came in here with the expectation of hopefully a quick fix for my aesthetic issue. And now we're talking a completely different story.
So I think this is relatively, actually quite low risk.
I'm getting a little
Schedule.
emotional though, because this is like, I thought it was gonna be something
Much easier.
much worse. I've been very worried about the silicone just because there is so much bad news out there, and to hear that I'm that lucky and as lucky as I've thought I have been for years is very good
really
news. Hearing Dr. Dubrow say that I'm at very low risk of having any kind of complication is amazing news. It's like, I can take my tits out and relax now. That's amazing to hear. And I would love to explore that option. Unfortunately, I can't do that right now because I can't afford to not be on the road. I'm literally booked and contracted into gigs for like the next year. As soon as I can get some time off, I'm gonna call up Dr. Dubrow and say, let's get it on the books. I'm coming in to take these puppies out. Listen, I tuck every night. What's one more tuck?
We're here for you when you're ready, Matt/D, okay? But you tell everyone who comes to you and asks you for guidance not to do this, all right? Thank you. That's good.
So it looks like we'll see you in the future.
Oh my God.
Is that right? Does that work?
Yes.
It is bizarre that my baby brother, who has never had children, obviously, is now going to be the first in the family to get a tummy tuck. My mom and I are both very jealous, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you for coming and being here.
My pleasure.